guns found by TSA. We'll tell you how San Diego compares to other airports across the country.
Plus, day 5 of the Larry Melietes preliminary hearing, what Maya's sister-in-law told the court today.
With all these storms up and down the state, who's responsible for the damage to your home or your car? I'll have those answers coming up.
Horses rescued from the Tijuana River Valley. I'll show you how they're doing now.
CBS 8 News Live at 6 starts now.
30 guns were confiscated at San Diego International Airport last year, tying a record high set in 2021. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Carlo Cicchetto.
I'm Marcella Lee. TSA agents found a record number of guns at security checkpoints across the country last year. CBS 8's Kirsten Holmes spent the day taking a closer look at the concerning data. Kirsten, how does San Diego compare to other airports nationwide?
Yeah, we are finding a lot less guns here at San Diego International Airport than compared to other airports all across the country. But like you said, 30 guns were found here in the year of 2022 and 2021. But that doesn't compare to the hundreds of guns that were confiscated in just 1 year at other big airports across the country.
That's going to slow you down and everybody behind you.
Lori Dankers with California TSA says gun seizures at checkpoints reached a record high of 6,542 last year. What's scary is 88% of those guns were loaded. And the number of confiscated guns has been increasing every year since 2010, except for 2020 because travel was down due to the pandemic.
Do you know you're not supposed to bring a gun through TSA?
No, I didn't know that.
Take a look at the numbers. The top 10 airports finding the most guns at security checkpoint include Denver, Phoenix, Dallas, and Hartsfield-Jackson International in Atlanta. They had a whopping 448 guns seized in 2022 alone. Travelers we talked to at San Diego International say they aren't surprised to see San Diego not pulling those numbers.
San Diego's has always made me feel safe in everything that we do. So we're definitely in the right place and the right airport. I mean, every time we go through the terminals, they definitely make you, take everything off and they do a full search. So you would think that they would find those guns.
There's absolutely no reason to bring your firearm and carry-on luggage to the checkpoint because there is a process by which you can travel with your firearm on a commercial aircraft. Put all of this in a hard-sided case, lock it up, and make sure that you use non-TSA approved locks. We only want the owner of the firearm to have access to the contents of the case.
While San Diego is not near the top of the list, we're trending in the wrong direction with 22 guns found in 2018 and now 30 guns found in 2021 and 2022.
We're looking for the responsible gun owners to go ahead and be responsible, and that is make sure that you're not bringing your gun in your carry-on luggage, the bottom of your bag.
Okay, so if you get caught going through TSA with a gun at one of these security checkpoints, you're going to have to submit to a separate search. You know that's going to slow you down. You're also going to have to see airport police. I don't know if you'll make your flight after that. And you're also looking at a fine of up to $15,000. So TSA officials are hoping that education will help change those numbers, but we will see. Reporting live for CBS 8, I'm Kirsten Holmes. Back to you.
Compelling testimony on the witness stand today from the sister-in-law of Maya Melietes, who disappeared 2 years ago.
Maya's husband, Larry Melietes, is charged with her murder. CBS 8's David Goffertson joins us live from our newsroom with the sister-in-law's important testimony. David?
Carlo, I have been in court for this preliminary hearing from day one, and I have to say, Genesis Tabalanza was the most impressive witness so far in the prosecution's case against Larry Melietes. She spoke honestly and she did not hold back. Late this afternoon, Maya's brother also took the stand, and a warning here, some of his testimony was graphic.
This is a parking lot at Swarmac, and then there's a white truck.
This photo was taken by Larry Melietes in June 2020 when he followed his wife Maya to her work and found her inside a white pickup truck with a male co-worker. Larry texted the photo to his sister-in-law Genesis Tabalanza, telling her he was going to confront the man.
And then he asked me what he should do, and I said, don't do anything. Don't approach, don't make a scene.
But Larry did approach the truck, according to the sister-in-law's testimony.
He asked Jamie, what are you doing here in this vehicle with my wife? And then May just looked surprised and she started crying.
The sister-in-law testified Larry Melietes frequently texted her in 2020, telling her about marital problems he was having, asking for help, and revealing he had been hiring spellcasters to make Maya fall back in love with him.
I just warned him that, you know, that's evil spirit and you shouldn't be messing with that.
In September 2020, Genesis testified Larry texted her a message saying Maya was angry and she had removed her wedding ring after she found out Larry was playing subliminal audio messages inside the home.
He said that it's some sort of white noise that you can order and you can record hidden messages. For example, you know, like I love you, love me or something like that. And it would be in a form of white noise.
Genesis also recalled a conversation she had with Maya during a trip to Glamis 3 days before she went missing in January 2021.
She told me, this is it, I'm going to file for divorce. And if something happens to me, it would be Larry.
Later in the day, Maya's brother, J.P. Tabalanza, took the stand, testifying that on the same trip to Glamis, Larry offered to pay money to, quote, get that guy, referring to the man Maya was allegedly having an affair with.
And he'll be willing to pay $20,000. And then he told me, is it $4,000 is enough for you for getting involved? And I told him, I don't want to get involved with it.
JP said he told Larry just to let it go.
He said he couldn't let it go. And then he likes torturing people and cutting their balls off.
Maya's supervisor at work also took the stand today, saying he had investigated complaints that Maya was having an affair with a subordinate. Maya later transferred to another division as a civilian employee with the Navy.
David, are we expecting this man in the truck who Maya was allegedly involved with to take the witness stand?
The prosecution will not be calling him during this preliminary hearing. He may be called as a defense witness if the case goes to trial. I will tell you, over the past several months, I have reached out to the man twice for comment, leaving my business card at his front door, but I received no response.
All right, a lot of developments today in court on day 5 of the Larry Melietes preliminary hearing. It's supposed to last perhaps another week, and at the end of this, a judge will decide if there's enough evidence to send this case to trial. Thanks for that update today, David. Right now, a rally is getting underway in Santee at the Cameron Family YMCA, where controversy is growing over the Y's gender-inclusive locker rooms.
Both sides of this debate has shown up tonight. CBS 8's Richard Allen is there live with what has led up to this rally and loud crowds we hear. Richard.
Well, that's right, Carlo. Marcella, is turning into a very loud dueling protest here. Management at the YMCA decided to close early for safety reasons. Now, these demonstrations here are in response to what 17-year-old Rebecca Phillips shared at last week's Santee City Council meeting. She says in her words that after she was showering after her workout, she, quote, I saw a naked male in the women's locker room, an instance which she says traumatized her. Now, she says the YMCA management later told her that person was transgender and allowed to use the women's locker room, and that Phillips was not in any danger. And in fact, under state law, people must be allowed to use facilities like locker rooms, restrooms, or changing areas that align with their gender identity. And in the week since she appeared at that city council meeting, this has turned into a national furor. You can see a couple hundred people here showing up, organized by Santee's Parents for Choice, demanding that the Santee YMCA here change their policy in regards to allowing transgender women to use the women's changing facilities. But as we swing around here, you can see a dueling protest, counter demonstrators saying that transgender rights must be respected in this case, and that they say that the real victim in all of this is actually the transgender woman who is at the center of this controversy. Now, in a statement, the YMCA of San Diego County emphasized its commitment to inclusion. They also apologized to Rebecca Phillips that she had felt unsafe in that instance. And they also said that it plans to review the layout of its locker rooms. So this is turning into a very loud protest, actually a protest and counter-protest. We'll continue to follow this, and we'll bring you the latest on later editions of News 8. Carlo and Marcella.
Thank you, Richard. More on later editions of CBS 8 News. Flooded Tijuana River Valley put dozens of horses in grave danger over the weekend. Ranchers needed a hand to get them to higher ground and reached out for help. The Border Patrol and other ranchers in the area answered that call. CBS 8's Brian White has more on this team effort roundup.
Some of the flooding still remains here on Hollister Street, making it impassable for some vehicles. Now, I came down here to check on the horses that were rescued to see how they're doing now.
Good boy. This is one of dozens of horses rescued from nearby ranches that flooded out during the storm in San Isidro here in the Tijuana River Valley.
Some of the horses were up to the water was up like to about to their chest. And then we had to go in and get them.
Sebastian Contreras is a horse trainer at Rancho Los Amigos. When rising waters were threatening horses down the road, he and other ranchers went over there to help rescue them.
What I would do, just like normal clothes, just go in there, get all wet, put the halter on the horse's head and just take them out through the water. You don't really think about it, you just kind of go and do it because you know you're just trying to help the horse basically.
Border Patrol responded to calls from local ranchers and evacuated 27 horses to safety, not to mention dozens more that were rescued by fellow ranchers like Sebastian.
We have a livestock trailer here on the ranch, and we would load them up in the livestock trailer and we would bring them down here to our ranch and we unload them here and give them a dry place to be at.
Chopper 8 captured these aerials Wednesday of Suncoast Farms completely underwater at Monument Road. Nearby Hollister Street, a few brave truck drivers ventured through the standing water, but I saw most people turn their cars around, not willing to risk it. Hollister was too flooded, so I took a nearby trail to get a closer view. Here at Suncoast Farms, as you can see, the entire property was flooded out. This pump was pushing water off the property. With flooding this severe, there's no telling when the horses will be able to come back here. 21 horses are being cared for at the Imperial Beach Border Patrol stables, as you can see in these new photos, while the rest are out of the flood zone at nearby ranches, 12 of which are here at Rancho Los Amigos.
Basically, we give them a nice dry place compared to where they were. And we just give them their water, their hay, and just kind of let them relax until the owners figure out what to do with their horses. They gave us a thank you and everything, and they appreciated everything we did for them. And we're here to help them out anytime.
In the Tijuana River Valley, Brian White, CBS 8.
Nice to see all those horses doing well. Thanks, Brian. President Joe Biden will be here in California tomorrow to survey the storm damage and offer help to California leaders. This afternoon, the White House confirmed the president will make stops in Santa Clara and Santa Cruz counties, joined by Governor Gavin Newsom. At least 20 people have died from the storm since late December. The state has seen widespread flooding and more than 500 landslides from the mountains to the coast.
Still ahead tonight, if you're dealing with storm damage, you've probably got a lot of questions, especially when it comes to filing insurance claims. We're working for you and have answers.
Plus, a terrifying attempted kidnapping caught on camera at a coffee stand.
Current temperature 55 degrees outside. We had dry air out there for today, but we are looking at some showers by tomorrow. Your complete forecast coming up.
And a former New Mexico political candidate accused of hiring hitmen to go after his Democratic rivals makes his first court appearance.